You've been giving away your power your whole life, and you didn't even notice. Every time you reacted to someone who didn't deserve it, every time you explained yourself to people who would never understand, every moment you wasted on the wrong people. You handed them your energy, your peace, your power, and they took it. But today, that ends. I'm about to show you 7 dark psychology secrets that Machiavelli himself mastered. Secrets that will make you untouchable, unstoppable, and completely in control. 1. Guard your attention like gold. Your attention is more valuable than money, more precious than any possession you own. Every time you react to someone who doesn't deserve it, every time you argue, explain yourself, or try to make someone understand you, you are giving away pieces of your power. You are handing over your energy, your focus, your peace of mind, and most people don't even realize it. This is exactly what Machiavelli noticed centuries ago. He knew that true power doesn't come from speaking the loudest or proving yourself to everyone. It comes from controlling where your attention goes. The person who decides what deserves their focus and what doesn't is the one who controls their life. Think about your daily life. How many times have you reacted to a rude comment online? How many times have you spent hours explaining yourself to someone who will never understand? How many times have you wasted your energy on someone who doesn't appreciate it? All of that attention is like handing over pieces of your power. And here's the truth. Most people keep doing this because they haven't learned to be selective. They think ignoring someone makes them weak. They think they owe an explanation. But the opposite is true. Protecting your attention is one of the strongest things you can do. Here's the rule. Before giving anyone your time, your energy, or your mental focus, ask yourself one simple question. Does this person deserve it? If the answer is no, don't engage, don't explain, don't defend yourself. Move on quietly. The moment you stop giving unworthy people your attention, you take back control. You stop being a puppet to their actions. You stop letting them drain your energy. You become untouchable. Your attention is a treasure. Like gold, it shouldn't be wasted on anyone who isn't worthy of it. Only give it to those who respect it, who add value to your life, and who deserve to be in your world. Protect it fiercely. Guard it every single day. Your attention is power, and power belongs only to those who value it. Affirmation: my attention is gold. 2. Silence is your sharpest weapon. Many people are afraid of silence. They think if they don't respond, if they don't defend themselves, or if they don't have the last word, they are showing weakness. They believe that staying quiet means surrendering or giving up. But the truth is the exact opposite. Silence is one of the most powerful and dangerous moves you can ever make. It gives you control in situations where words would only cost you your power. Think about it. Every time someone insults you, criticizes you, or tries to provoke you, your first instinct is usually to respond. You want to defend yourself, explain, or strike back. And when you do, you give them exactly what they want. Your reaction, your words, your anger, your energy, they become their victory. Even if you win the argument, you are still trapped in their game because they controlled the situation long enough to make you react. You allowed them to take your power, even for a moment. Now imagine the alternative. Imagine seeing the same insult, the same criticism, or the same provocation, and doing nothing. Not out of fear, not out of weakness, but deliberately, with full control. You stay calm, You don't react. You refuse to play their game. The power flips instantly. Suddenly they are confused. They obsess over your silence. They wonder why you didn't respond. Their mind races, looking for answers, and they lose control. And all the while, you remain untouchable, calm, and completely in control of yourself. Silence is not about being invisible or hiding your strength. It's about showing that your power is untouchable. It's about refusing to give someone else control over your emotions or your attention. Silence communicates more than words ever could. It says, "You are not important enough to deserve my energy. You do not affect me. I am above your attempts to provoke me." It destroys manipulation and obsession without a single word being spoken. The more you practice silence strategically, the more people notice it. When you speak, your words carry weight. When you act, your actions matter. You no longer waste energy on trivial battles. Your calmness, your indifference, and your ability to stay quiet become a force that others cannot touch. Affirmation: silence is power. 3. Withdraw strategically, not completely. Many people misunderstand power. They think power comes from being everywhere, doing everything, or constantly proving themselves. Others believe that disappearing completely, isolating themselves, cutting everyone off, is the way to be strong. But true power is very different. Power is not about running away or hiding. Power is about showing up, but on your terms. It's about being unpredictable, mysterious, and valuable, rather than constantly available. Strategic withdrawal is the art of controlling your presence. It's about being in the world, but never fully owned by it. Sometimes you are warm, approachable, and present. Sometimes you are distant, quiet, and unavailable. You create a pattern that others cannot predict. This unpredictability is powerful. When people don't know exactly what to expect from you, they start noticing you more. They start thinking about you, wanting you, and valuing your time. You don't have to chase anyone. Your absence itself becomes magnetic. Think about it this way. Someone you care about, someone you find interesting, is constantly available to you. They respond instantly to your messages. They drop everything for you. They never leave you waiting. How do you feel after a few days? Probably a little bored, maybe even irritated. Their constant presence has lowered their value because it's taken for granted. Now imagine the opposite. Someone you care about responds occasionally. Sometimes they are there, sometimes they are not. You never quite know when you'll hear from them next. Suddenly, they occupy your thoughts more. You notice their absence. You wonder about them. You value their time because it is not guaranteed. That is the power of strategic withdrawal. This principle applies not just to relationships, but to friendships, work, and life in general. Being always available makes you ordinary. Being selective about when and where you show up makes you extraordinary. It teaches people that your attention and presence are not given freely. They must be earned. Strategic withdrawal is not about cutting people out completely. It's about creating boundaries. It's about showing that you are in control of your own life. You decide when to be present and when to step back. You make your absence felt without leaving completely. People begin to chase you, think about you, and respect your time. You don't have to beg for attention or validation. Your presence alone becomes powerful, magnetic, and unforgettable. Affirmation: I choose my presence. 4. The mind-breaking effect of ignoring one of the most powerful tools you can ever use is simple. Ignore people. It sounds easy, but very few understand how devastating it can be. Human brains are wired for closure. We need answers. We need to understand why someone said something, did something, or acted a certain way. When you give people nothing, no response, no reaction, no explanation, their minds go into chaos. They start spinning in circles, trying to figure you out. And while they are obsessing over you, you are completely free. You are calm. You are untouchable. Think about your haters, your critics, or the people in your life who always try to drain your energy. The moment you stop engaging with them, something incredible happens. They lose power over you. They can no longer control your emotions, dictate your mood, or waste your time. Ignoring them is like flipping a switch. They are suddenly powerless while you remain strong, focused, and completely in control. You don't need to argue, defend yourself, or prove anything. You simply erase their influence over you. Ignoring is not about being rude. It's about strategy. It's about understanding that some people exist only to get a reaction from you. Whether it's an insult, a complaint, or an attempt to manipulate, their entire purpose is to pull your attention, energy, or emotions. When you refuse to participate, you destroy that purpose. They become obsessed. They wonder why you didn't respond. They replay the situation in their heads. They overthink. They question themselves. And all the while, you are living your life completely unbothered. This works on everyone. The jealous coworker, the toxic ex, the critic who always comments negatively, even the friends who drain your energy without giving anything back. By ignoring them, you take away their control. You don't need revenge. You don't need to prove yourself. Your indifference is more powerful than any argument, more effective than any insult, and far more destructive than any reaction. When you master ignoring, you gain an invisible shield. You become untouchable because people no longer have access to your mind, your emotions, or your energy. You create a world where only those who deserve your attention can reach you. Your calm, your silence, your focus, these become the tools of your power. Affirmation: I erase the unworthy. 5. Erase the unworthy completely. Not everyone in your life deserves your attention, your energy, or your time. Some people are toxic, some are manipulative, and some are simply unworthy of being part of your world. If you want to be truly powerful, untouchable, and in control, you need to remove these people completely. And by completely, I don't mean dramatic fights or public call-outs. I mean quiet, ruthless, and permanent removal. There are 3 types of people you must erase from your life. First, your enemies. These are not just people who disagree with you or compete with you. They are the ones actively working against you. They spread lies, sabotage your efforts, or try to ruin your reputation. Most people make the mistake of confronting them, arguing, or trying to prove themselves. But this only gives enemies power and relevance. Machiavelli knew the truth. The best revenge is success. Focus on your life, your goals, and your victories. Let your enemies watch you thrive while they stay stuck in bitterness. Second, the critics. These people don't create or build. They only tear others down. They feed off your reactions. The moment you argue, explain, or try to prove them wrong, you give them life. Ignore them. Let them scream, complain, and fume while you continue achieving. Success doesn't argue with criticism. It makes it meaningless. The more successful and focused you are, the more irrelevant their opinions become. Third, energy parasites. These are disguised as friends. They constantly drain you without giving anything back. They always have a problem, a crisis, or a need that only you can solve. You help because you are kind, but they never improve. Their purpose is not to grow. It's to feed on your energy. Protect yourself. Remove them from your life quietly. Stop answering their calls, messages, or attempts to involve you in their drama. Your energy is precious, and you cannot afford to pour it into people who do not respect or value it. Erasing the unworthy is not selfish. It is survival. It is the act of protecting your time, your energy, and your power. The moment you remove these three types of people, you make space for those who truly belong in your life. People who lift you up, respect your boundaries, and match your energy. This is how you rise above distraction, drama, and manipulation. This is how you become untouchable. Affirmation: I erase the unworthy. 6. Build the armor of indifference. Most people get controlled by others not because those people are stronger, smarter, or more powerful, but because they let them. They let insults, criticism, or disrespect dictate their emotions. They let drama, jealousy, and manipulation control their day. This is weakness. This is giving away your power. True strength comes from building emotional armor, a shield that protects your mind, your heart, and your energy. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. The most powerful men didn't just fight physically. They were untouchable because nothing could shake them emotionally. Building the armor of indifference doesn't mean you stop feeling or caring about anything. It doesn't mean you become cold, heartless, or emotionless. It means you choose what affects you and what doesn't. It means you no longer let other people control your mood, your reactions, or your focus. Someone insults you. Their words reflect who they are, not who you are. Someone criticizes you unfairly. Their opinion is irrelevant unless you allow it to matter. Someone tries to make you angry or frustrated. You don't react. You stay calm, composed, and untouchable. The first step to building this armor is identifying your emotional triggers. What words, actions, or situations push your buttons? Is it criticism, being misunderstood, disrespect? These triggers are cracks in your armor, and people, consciously or unconsciously, will exploit them. Once you recognize them, the next step is mastering indifference. When someone insults you, you acknowledge it internally, but you do not give it energy. When someone misjudges you, you move on without trying to explain yourself. When someone tries to manipulate your emotions, you remain calm. You do not react. You do not fight. You do not validate them. The more you practice this, the stronger your armor becomes. Eventually, people will realize that their usual tactics, provoking you, criticizing you, draining your energy, no longer work. They will either respect you or leave you alone. Either way, you win. Your indifference becomes your power. It makes you untouchable, unstoppable, and unshakable. People cannot manipulate you, control you, or predict your reactions. They see a calm, composed, and powerful presence, and it affects them more than any confrontation could. Your emotions now serve you. They no longer rule you. Your peace becomes untouchable. Your focus, energy, and power belong only to you. This is the ultimate armor, and it makes you impossible to control. Affirmation: nothing controls me. 7. Ascend through calculated inaction. Most people think power comes from doing more, working harder, proving themselves, constantly, showing the world their worth, and fighting every battle that comes their way. But Machiavelli understood a secret that separates the powerful from everyone else. Sometimes, the most powerful move is doing nothing at all. This is called calculated inaction, and it is one of the most underrated tools of influence. It is the art of winning without fighting, of dominating without confrontation, and of conserving your energy while others burn theirs. Calculated inaction is about patience, strategy, and focus. It is about knowing which battles are worth your time and which are not. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every rumor deserves correction. Not every challenge deserves engagement. By refusing to participate in the unnecessary chaos, you automatically rise above it. You stay calm while others fight, stress, and exhaust themselves. And while they are busy reacting, you are busy building, creating, and growing. Think about someone spreading rumors about you. The old you would panic, respond, argue, and try to control the story. You would waste energy proving yourself, but the new you doesn't react. You let the rumors run their course. You continue living your life with focus and integrity. Over time, the truth becomes clear without you saying a word. The people who matter already know your character, and the ones spreading lies, they look foolish, desperate, and powerless. This principle also works in competition. Someone copies your style, tries to outdo you, or shows obvious jealousy. The old you would react, adjust, and compete on their terms. The new you ignores them completely. You focus on your path, innovate on your own terms, and continue building your success. While they obsess over you, trying to catch up, you are creating distance they cannot close. Not because you are racing them, but because you are operating in a completely different league. Calculated inaction is not laziness. It is a deliberate choice. It is the understanding that energy is your most valuable resource. By choosing when to act and when not to act, you make your presence and your power felt even more. People notice your focus, your calm, and your indifference. Your silence becomes legendary. Your absence becomes magnetic. You dominate without lifting a finger because your control over yourself is absolute. When you master calculated inaction, you stop giving power to those who don't deserve it. You rise above drama, distractions, and manipulation. You become untouchable, magnetic, and unstoppable. You ascend through strategy, not struggle. Your energy, focus, and attention belong only to what truly matters. Affirmation: I win without fighting. Closing, call to action. Now it's your choice. Are you ready to stop giving away your power? Are you ready to become untouchable? Drop "I am untouchable" in the comments and make that commitment to yourself today. Remember, guard your attention. Speak only when necessary. Withdraw strategically. Ignore the unworthy. Erase toxic people. Build your armor and master the power of inaction. You are now in control. You are untouchable. The world will feel it, even if you never say a word.